So, continuing with the modeling images, I'm gonna get the computer ready, you know, that whole thing. And get that squared away so that way go through a different set of modeling images. Um, so I'm gonna go through two different sets real quick because it's the same photographer. And so Art Can Too, a technical former Marine, but once a Marine, always a Marine. So he had done this particular, he wanted to do this shoot where he did a different version of the Wizard of Oz thing. And I was like, oh, could I be Dorothy? And he's like, yeah, no, I already have Dorothy. And I was like, okay. He's like, but you could be Tin Woman. And I'm like, well, you know, if you knew how sadistic I can be, it kind of works out. But I actually do have a really big heart despite, you know, despite that aspect. So I'm going to show you some of the pictures on that. And so there's me as Tin Woman. And then, let's see. So this was shot in Deep Ellum. And so that's obviously the lion. And that was the Wicked Witch of the West. And that was one of her monkeys. And then there's me as Tin Woman. There's Dorothy. There's Galinda. There was the Scarecrow. And that was the Wizard of Oz. And so, and she wound up doing the Pinterest thingamabob. Really sweet. Really sweet. Irony, she, you know, being the Galinda the Good Witch. And so you can, there's a Scarecrow, there's me as the Tin Woman, there's Dorothy, and there is the lion. And then the Scarecrow and I in a car. And then, so that is the monkey, that is the Scarecrow, that is Art Cantu, the photographer. His brother or cousin took the picture for this, I think, or it was his wife, one of the two. There's Dorothy, there's a lion, there's me as the Tin Woman, and then the Wicked Witch of the West right there. And so he wanted a little bit of a sassy picture. So there is a Scarecrow, a monkey, Galinda, Wicked Witch of the West, me as Tin Woman, the Oz, Lioness, and Dorothy right there. Okay, when the picture moves. Okay, they're up, see? Okay. I do not remember them, but I think that they were with somebody. I can't remember. I think it might be her. I'm not certain. So there's the evil monkey. Rush, I guess, is Dorothy's boyfriend at the time. And then there's the lion. And then there's Galinda and the wizard. That's Art's wife. And they're both Art and Trinity were from the East Coast. So we talked a lot about the East Coast. I'll leave it at that. I would guesstimate Art and Trinity would laugh at the individual who said that New Jersey had 193 exits going on. So the Wicked Witch of the West, the Scarecrow, and then me as Tin Woman. And so Galinda and the Scarecrow, the Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch of the West, me as Tin Woman, and then Dorothy. And there's the lion, me as Tin Woman, the monkey, and then the Wizard of Oz for that photo shoot. And then the lions being all, you know, grrr. and Dorothy, the scarecrow, and then the Tin Woman, and me, and all scared because of the lion and Rar. And then, the evil, wicked Witch of the West with the monkey, with Galinda, and then Dorothy, and Scarecrow, and me, Tin Woman, and the lion, and the Wizard of Oz going, that movie aspect. And I think that might be the last one for that particular image. So hold on, let me. Yep, I guess so. So let me go back. And then there's the pictures that we did at Trinity and Art's house. So that's me, obviously. And that's the bed. And, I like corsets, but again, you can see the progression of tattoos. Because I don't have the sleeve right there. And Trinity and Art, during this particular photo shoot, Trinity did my makeup and Art did the photography and talked a whole bunch. And I think they had a younger son, and so did that whole thing. And then he's a former Marine, and so you could see the corner of the poster right there. Yeah. Right there, we talked about the Marine Corps and the different aspects of training and whatnot like that. And then looking at the construction site, for the modeling picture. And I've done a couple pictures in that particular outfit because it's the closest I got to being a Marine. It was pretend, but And so there's that. And then that is the outfit. This particular pink thing, the little negligee, that would be what my biological sister said was too risque after she had done what she had done as a junior in high school. And so, this right here, maybe it was the shinies of the chain, or maybe it was the pink. I don't know, whichever one. And so there's a little, different type of gangster, I guess, type of thing. And so, there's that. And and so, there's I was not married. I was engaged at the time, so you can see that there. And so, yep, here's some pictures. And then there's my ring that I had for the one made in reference to my children and stuff, but obviously other rings. And so, And I was not nude for that. I actually had a bikini on, but that was photoshopped out because, it's a personal thing for me, at least. So that would be that particular set of images. Turn that around real quick. So, Art, being a former Marine, I did not realize, not that I didn't realize, because I knew that he was a former Marine when he told me, I just didn't realize that whole scuba diving aspect. As a former Marine, he's probably been on a Navy ship. And by that time, especially since I was engaged at the time, I had already gone to the Vandenberg and landed at the bottom of the ocean and surfaced. And I literally just realized he and Trinity probably have seen a Navy ship before. And probably have a better idea of how tall a Navy ship is. And I did not realize, obviously, till right now. Makes a whole bunch of sense why we were talking about. I mean, you know, I've talked about 9/11 with quite a few people over the years. Some were far more pleasant to speak with than others, despite the situation in regard of that. But for example, Christine of the Jade Wolf Coven tried to tell me that she believed that it was a good thing. And when she had said that, when she had said that, the only way I can describe the words that came out of my mouth, ironically, would make a Marine blush and be glad I was not the drill instructor. Because the names that are called in basic training, at least for the Army, though I don't really think that the Marine Corps is lighter in that regard, Christine cried and was very upset, and I didn't care. And then when she wouldn't stop crying, I told her if she didn't stop crying, I was going to lick the side of her face. And she asked me why, and I said, so that way I can forever remember what your tears taste like after what you just said, because you don't understand that. And for you to have the nerve and the gall to say that, as Christine put it, that the people of the East Coast deserved it. I cannot remember everything that I said, but I know there was probably not any pretty words. Probably not. And it got to the point when I was explaining to her that that was unacceptable in my opinion. And I know I wouldn't be the only one. My now dead ex-husband actually stepped away and told her, meaning Christine, that she was on her own because he had never seen me that angry before. If that puts it into perspective. Because there were very few times where my now dead ex-husband, when he was alive, would not, what is it? not make a comment. There are very few times where he wouldn't just have something snippy to say. And for example, at Pump It Up, when the little teenage girl turned on the or turned off the chair blow up thingamabob, and it knocked my daughter off of the chair, and I went to go speak with her after making sure my daughter was okay, and that little girl ran off. My now dead ex-husband looked at Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., and said, "You can go deal with that. That's not mine anymore, because we're not married, and we're not getting married again, and we're not going to renew our vows, and we're not getting back together." And Cactus Jack rolled his eyes. And then when I was face to face with that little girl, then Cactus Jack didn't say anything. And so, as an example, later when my now dead ex-husband, then ex-husband, found out what had occurred, then he was pissed off and said pretty much he wanted to handle things, but then like knew that I had handled it. So for perspective, in that situation with Christine of the Jade Wolf Coven, and her saying that, my now dead ex-husband, then husband right before the first separation, was like, so... Nope. So while I don't remember what I said, I can tell you, all I saw was the color of my hair and her figure. How was it just red everywhere, and then like a shadow of her figure, and so yeah, I doubt I'd be the only person who would feel like that. I would guesstimate, though, that Christine would have been arrogant enough to put that on social media. And if she had something to do with causing problems to my Medal of Honor art project, and or was the female that I saw at the McMillan Mausoleum the time I was just walking around waiting for whoever that female taking the pictures and the other dumb blonde female with her dancing around. Well, again, not gonna divorce that. At the same time, there was that very loud barking and hooves on the water when I was sitting in one of the chairs. So, I'm gonna end this particular video. That's